I have intensely studied and practiced the area of personal achievement, human potential. For the last 15 years, I've actually been in the industry of personal development. I've produced over 1,000 TV programs with some of today's best authors, writers, and speakers. For the last 2 years, as publisher of Success Magazine, I've had the privilege to be able to sit down one-on-one and interview and interrogate today's top and most celebrated achievers all over the world to find out what makes them different. What are their unique ideas? How do they keep themselves motivated? How do they balance work and family? You know, what are their morning rituals? How do they set goals? How do they stick to them and get those best ideas and pull them out of them? It has a great quote. It says, "Income seldom exceeds one's level of personal development." So let me give you an extreme example. We've all seen the people who, they're making $30,000 a year, and then they win the lottery, and they're handed a check for $20 million. What happens to the person who's used to making $30,000 a year, who gets handed a check for $20 million? What's usually the case 3 to 5 years later? They're broke. How can somebody who has made $30,000 a year get a check for $20 million and then go broke? Here's the key. If you're taking notes, this is one for your notes. Money will always meet you where you're at. You can have a temporary blip, but it ultimately will settle back down to the level of self. Your net worth will never outgrow your self-worth. An abundant, limitless universe. And you've heard the adage, right? If you took all the money away from the rich people and you evenly divided it amongst everybody, 20, 30 years later, what would happen? It'd be all in the pockets of the same people again, right? Because money is attracted to the character, the principles, the attitudes, the disciplines of the people who give it good stewardship. So all I got to do is focus on me. If I raise my level of self, my level of self-worth, my net worth will grow in equal proportion. This is the shared percentage of responsibility between two people to make the relationship work. Well, I was 18 years old, right, so I knew it all, so I shouted 50-50. And based on the look of the instructor's face, it was obvious that was not the right answer. So somebody else answered 51-49, because you got to be willing to do a little bit more than the other person to make the relationship work. Well, his look proceeded. So somebody else shouted out 80-20. And I don't know what the explanation was, but it involved some sort of an algorithm. And so the instructor got tired of this, and so he went to the board and he wrote 100-0. Until you're willing to do 100%, take 100% of the responsibility for making that relationship work with zero expectation in return, will that relationship work? That taking 100% responsibility is the control factor for all the results and outcomes you'll ever produce in your life. Taking 100% responsibility. See, whether you know it or not, where you're at today, in your chair at this very moment, you made an appointment to be here. Your bank account, your relationships, your health, where it is right now, it's your fault. Anything or anybody, for any reason why you haven't performed, or there's an outcome in your life, at any time, you're not taking 100% responsibility for your life. Once you do, I know this sounds simple, but once you take 100%, that no matter what happens to you, it's your fault, it's your cause, it's your solution. You're the only one that can change the situation. You have a disgruntled neighbor, you have a colleague at the office, you're having problems with your relationship, you're having problems with your health, you're having problems with your kids. Only you are responsible for what you do, what you don't do, or how you respond to what's done to you. This concept, if you embrace it, change your life. One thing will transform your ability to be successful in this business and anything in life. He said, learn to love failure. I said, learn to love failure? I mean, I'm looking for success. Failure's not what I want. I want success. He says, to get success, learn to love failure. And he said, don't just expect it. Don't just, don't realize it's just part of the process. He said, learn to love it.